You already know OCD isn't just about being clean or organized. You've probably heard that the oversimplified version 100 times, and if you're here, I'm guessing you've lived a very different reality. Because OCD isn't just quirky, it isn't cute, it's fucking exhausting. It's a survival loop that hijacks your nervous system, and no matter how smart or self-aware you are, it almost feels like you can't escape it. But the real danger of OCD, it's not just the thoughts. It's what happens when you treat it the wrong way, or worse, leave it untreated. So in this video, I'm going to explain what OCD actually is in the simplest, clearest way possible. No psychobabble, just straight up truth, so you can finally understand what's happening inside your mind and body, and how to start breaking free. Now stick around to the end as well, because once you understand this loop, you'll see it for what it is, and that alone can change everything. So let's get something out of the way fast. This isn't what is OCD explainer for people who think it's about being tidy. This is for you. Someone who's stuck in it day to day, who's either been diagnosed or knows deep down that something isn't right. And look, you've probably done the research, you've heard the terms, tried the affirmations, maybe even tried therapy and even ERP, and yet the loop still runs your day. This video is about making sense of what's actually happening inside of you, because when you see the loop clearly, you can start to untangle it. Now, here's the pattern, the loop. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. The thought pops up, usually intrusive, unwanted, or disturbing. What if I hurt someone? What if I didn't lock the door? Am I a bad person? That thought triggers a wave of emotion, fear, disgust, guilt, shame, and it hits hard, and it feels urgent. Then in comes the compulsion. Your brain screams, do something. So you check, you wash, you avoid, you pray, or maybe you just ruminate endlessly in your mind for those of you with pure O. And finally, you get relief. It's gone. I'm safe again. Except you just taught your brain that that thought was a threat because you reacted to it like one. Now your brain goes, cool, that worked. So next time, it brings the thought back faster and louder. That's the loop. And every time you respond the same way, it gets even stronger. Now here's the trap most people fall into. They try to logic their way out of it, or they double down on reassurance, avoidance, distraction, all in the name of feeling better and getting that relief, which becomes addictive. But the more you try to get rid of the thought, the more power you give it. Kind of like scratching an itch that only gets itchier, right? Or telling yourself not to think about pink elephants. OCD doesn't care about logic. It cares about leverage. And the stronger the emotional charge behind the thought, the more desperate you are to get relief, and most likely more urgently. And the more likely you are to do something that keeps the loop alive. Now let me give you a reframe that changed everything for me. When a thought pops up in your brain, think about it like this. Your brain is asking, is this a threat? That feeling of fear, that urgency? It's the brain demanding an answer, but as a question. The second you act on the compulsion, you're answering yes. But what if you didn't? What if you could feel the fear and still answer no? That's where change begins. Not by getting rid of the thought, but by changing your response to it. And here's something I don't hear enough of people saying. Emotions aren't bad. They're not the enemy. They're energy, right? Energy in motion. I actually prefer to look at it as energy for motion. That difference gives me the ability to think it's for me to choose where it goes. They're meant to move you, not paralyze you. And if you're trying to numb them, maybe even with meds, distractions, or white-knuckling through ERP, you don't just blunt the fear. You blunt your joy, love, and purpose. In our program, we go so much deeper into this. We teach you how to work with those enormous emotions, not just to suppress them, but actually how to channel that obsessive energy into something that moves your life forward. Because if you don't give that energy somewhere to go, it usually chooses for you, right? And that's where things spiral. Let me say this a little clearer. You are not broken. You are running an outdated pattern or program. You've been reinforcing a loop that was actually built to protect you once upon a time. But it's doing more harm than good now. It is time to let it go. But breaking that loop doesn't start with perfect logic. It starts with awareness, with understanding the mechanics of how it works and learning how to intervene at the level of the feeling, not just the level of the thought. See, inside OCD Unlocked, the program, we go far beyond just telling you to resist the compulsions. We teach you how to build a new system from a biological, physiological level. What we're trying to do is get you to learn to work with your body and emotions, not against them, using OCD like rocket fuel to propel you forward in life. This video just scratched the surface, and if it resonates with you and you want the full blueprint, please check out How to Break the Loop step by step, and we'll show you how to rebuild it into something that actually serves your life. That's what OCD Unlocked is for. But whether or not you ever choose to join us, my hope is that today I gave you something better than just relief. Maybe a little bit more clarity. And with enough clarity comes choice. You don't have to fight OCD the old way anymore. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.